Good morning, everybody. Happy Insurrection Day to you. Um, this is where we're going to be going with it. You know how America does. They always commemorate the tragedies, well, except for one. And this is what we're going to talk about today. As you can see in my description, where I just wrote out my thought just as plain as day. We're going to see that there's some inconsistencies in the United States, and there's some gotcha moments that needs to be put out on blast. So here we go. Let's go ahead and get it started. First, I want to say shout out to all of the content providers who are sick of these daggone podcasts. I hate podcasts. And when I say I hate podcasts, I don't mean that I hate content providers. I mean that I hate the format that podcasts are starting to go in, because it, like I said before, they're starting to become like the record labels, and a lot of these content providers are like the artists, and they're getting 360 deals to manipulate people and push an agenda. So I hate podcasts. Yeah, this podcast is for people who hate podcasts. So let's go. Like I said before, happy Insurrection Day. Um, this country has a really, really bad tendency of always wanting to put emphasis on the tragedies that are bestowed upon them through events that could have been thwarted if they would have been vigilant and paid attention. And sometimes they allegedly had a hand in these events that took place. So, my question is this: why is America always saying, remember 9/11 for the senseless lives that were lost? Remember Pearl Harbor for the senseless lives that were lost. Oh, but we're going to erase the critical race theory thing. We're going to erase racism from this because it looks bad on us European people. We don't want to be exposed as the aggressor. We want to be seen as the victim, and we want to garner sympathy from people. And so we don't want to be seen in the eyes of people as the aggressor. So just forget about critical race theory. Yeah, we'll forget all about that. But remember 9/11, where all of those sense, where all of those lives, all of those valuable European westernized lives were lost. Remember Pearl Harbor, where all of those military lives were lost. Oh, but forget about those niggas though. We don't need to talk about them niggas no more. We've been talking about them niggas for long enough. Why y'all always trying to bring up old stuff? Y'all always want to remember something. Some things just need to be forgotten. This is the attitude that America carries. This is the hypocrisy that America carries. And this is what needs to be addressed and weeded out and done away with. This is how we get rid of these people with that mindset and that mentality that carries that into the social mindset, and we see it every single day. So I'm waiting for somebody who's going to answer that question for me, America, particularly certain portions of America. Why is it that you want to forget our pain, and you want to forget our tragedy, and you want to forget our trauma and sweep it under the rug, but you're constantly sticking reminders in our face of your tragedy and your trauma, and you always wanting people to see you as a victim and feel sorry for you and make excuses for you? Why is that the case? Well, it doesn't matter anymore because we totally thrown that case out. We're not listening to your crap. We are going to continue to teach critical race theory to our children in or out of school because we don't need your sorry curriculum to do it. You know, it really bothers me that some people don't even have enough brain power to even put these things together or connect these things. And I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I always say that. I do understand that I am an intelligent man. I do understand that I can reason. I do understand that I can use my cognitive reasoning skills to come to a proper solution in a situation or a problem. I do understand these things about myself, but I also understand that I don't know anything. And that's the thing that makes me the smartest, is the fact that I don't know anything. I have strong beliefs about things based on information that's been given and passed down, and my cultural upbringing and background and the heritage and all of those things that have been instilled in me. But I don't know nothing, because everything, well, yeah, everything that we've gone by, every bit of history that we hold on to is a third to fourth to fifth hand account at best. And so for you to sit here, this is why whenever I have these debates with people and they see things like I guarantee or I know or the 100% no doubt, right there lets me know that, first of all, you think highly of yourself to think that there's absolutely no way that you can be wrong based off of information that you didn't get firsthand from personal experience. So when a person comes to me with that type of ignorance, I know what type of person I'm talking to and dealing with. And so now I know how to spoon feed this person, because I'm dealing with somebody with who really thinks highly of themselves. So that means that they're more than likely a narcissist, mild, moderate, or severe. And that also lets me know that this conversation is not going to benefit anybody, because they can't see past their own ideology. So once I recognize this in a person that I'm talking to, I politely bow out. And there's so many threads. If you want to go through my videos, you can read through some of the comment threads, and you will see where the shift in the conversation goes. And you will see where I realize, oh, this guy just wants to win an argument. He don't want to solve any of these issues. He just wants to argue and point out the obvious issue that we've been doing for hundreds of years. So you can go through my threads and you can actually see the moment where I get this realization, and I just kill the conversation or disengage with that person because it's not worth it. So back to what I'm talking about. This country that we live in, if you look at our Congress, you look at everything that's going on right now in our political scope, a lot of it is trauma, a lot of it is intimidation and fear. Those are the those are the watchwords of the day. Every morning that you wake up and you hear a news report, no matter what they're reporting on, somewhere underlying in that conversation is going to be something to to strike up fear in people, more fear in people. And what the government has realized a long time ago is, if you get the people scared enough, they'll do whatever you want them to do, just as long as they feel like you can save them, i.e., the whole entire vaccine situation that we're in right now. People think that people have been sold on the idea that this vaccine is going to help them and it's going to save them from coronavirus, when in fact we have the late night talk show host, Mr. Jimmy Fallon, who just came out, if not, I think it was yesterday, and he said that he's had both vaccinations, he's had a booster, and he still got COVID-19, and it's still pretty bad. So when you have these people running around here making declarations about a vaccine when they don't even have the full information about what they're trying to make a vaccine for, How can you make a vaccine and put any confidence in it when you don't even have a full understanding of the virus that you're dealing with? Now we have all of these different variants that are popping up, and they're still talking about the complications from this premature vaccine that they made. Because, for one, the vaccine was rushed. For two, it was not FDA approved, it was approved for emergency authorization use. And for three, it takes 3 to 5 years at least to produce a decent vaccine. And even then, it still has problems with it. So for them to fast track this vaccine through and start to just give it to people, and people think there's and people think we're gonna take it with all of the inconsistencies, they can't even get it right when they have 3 to 5 years to make one. So, what makes you think we as a people should have any confidence in this vaccine that they rushed through and have to give um, emergency authorization to use? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I don't knock anybody who allows the fear to push them into doing what they think is right for your family. By all means, do what you feel is right for your family and do what you feel will protect you. But I'm just letting you know the facts of the matter. And I'm pointing out the inconsistencies that we seem to gloss over because of our fear. And it reminds me of how most of our society goes into relationships. You go in seeing red flags and you disregard the red flags because you want the object of your desire more. And so you'll negate those red flags until later when you start to feel the real effects of them. And now all of a sudden, oh, this person is garbage. And you start to demonize them when they showed you up front who they were. We're going through the same thing with coronavirus. We're going through the exact same principle and the exact same concept with coronavirus. So I submit, man, that, you know, we think about today, January 6th. This is a day that people went to the Capitol and they began to turn on other Americans. So, are you going to commemorate this like the Civil War, the other time that there was a treasonous act against America? Because that's exactly what it is. All of those people who went up to that Capitol are traitors to the United States. They're treasonous, and every single politician and public official who had a hand in it are should be arrested and tried for treason, because that's what they was trying to throw at us, right? Treason. That word came up so much. Treason. But we have actual treason. We have a live demonstration. We have hours of videotapes of actual treason taking place. And not one time have I heard anybody say the word treason connected to the insurrection of this day. Happy Treason Day, everybody. That's what it is. This is a day that they're going to probably have in the textbooks later on down the line if they ever get the education system back on track. And they're going to talk about this day from their point of view. But people like me who's living through this will be the ones to tell the next generation who read this in their books in school, no, that's a lie. It didn't happen like that. This happened, that happened. No, that's a lie. I lived through it. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty cool to be living during a part of history that'll be talked about for hundreds of years down the road. And I pray to God that I get old enough to be like Dick Gregory, because I swear on everything. When I hit those 60s and 70s, really it's the 70s and 80s when you can say and do what you want to, and everybody like, oh, leave OG alone. So I just can't wait. God, I'm praying that you let me live to be at least 75 to 80 something so I could be the next Dick Gregory. That's the type of energy I see myself coming with in the future. I'm going to let you know how severely wrong you are. And I'm going to give you accounts based on my firsthand witnessing, my firsthand experience, not something that somebody else told somebody, not something that somebody else observed and wrote down based on their opinion. Because anybody who would try to argue against somebody's belief system by using another belief system that they got from a third, fourth, fifth hand account are absolute idiots in my eyes. And I will not argue with people like that about any religious or spiritual things. So let's just sit back on this day, January 6th, and think about what truly took place. Treason took place in the United States, unadulterated treason, and the government was a part of it. The right wing, the conservative party, and it's crazy that they would even have the audacity to label themselves conservative because treason is not a conservative mindset or a conservative act. So I will just go ahead and leave it at that, man. Happy Treason Day to everybody, man. Y'all go out and try not to be treasonous towards anybody and show the opposite of what America shows to its people. This is your boy D Mac, man. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.